Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Not Just Girl Talk Season 2. I am your host, Ashanti.
And I'm your host, Tiffany.
And welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I'm about to say that again because we've been gone. We've been MIA, we've been vacation. So welcome back. Welcome back over here. If you want to come over here and out and get cozy. Or you can head over there with Tiffany at the Fully Stocked Bar as always. It doesn't matter where you go as long as you're tuned in to Not Just Girl Talk. So y'all already know. Before we jump into the show, we want to make sure you have a beverage in your hand. I'm gonna do it a little different. We're gonna have a beverage first because we've been gone. We've been gone. So we're gonna do our beverage. What you sipping on, Tiffany?
I actually found some Crown Peach. That's been difficult to find here, so I just mixed some Pepsi with it. Simple. I was gonna do some white cranberry peach, but I was like, it's dark,
It
so I'm
was
keeping.
Crown Peach.
Mm-hmm. It was a struggle for a minute to find it, so we finally got some. It's like, oh,
I'm surprised you didn't mix it with your cream soda.
I don't have any, but I did
Ugh,
have a
thank God.
Pepsi. And it's not bad though. It is not bad. So I've not really had it that much. So I've had it like
Okay.
out, but we've not had a ball.
Oh, okay. Well, I have H2O today. So I'm in my water kit. The way I've been hanging out, I need to drink number water. Okay.
I do.
I've been drinking. I have been drinking, so I'm like trying to chill. Y'all, sorry for my lighting if y'all are watching on the tube. My lighting is a little dark today, but we'll get that fixed. So sorry about that. But moving into the show, y'all already know we got to do some housekeeping stuff. And Tiffany gonna let y'all know where to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about Not Just Girls Out.
Yes, all of our information, as you know, is in the link is in our bio. But make sure you guys are following us if you have not on Instagram or IG at not just girl underscore talk. Also, make sure if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel that you subscribe, and it's at not just girl talk podcast.
Yes, yes, y'all. So we gotta catch the people up on where we been at, y'all. So
Yes.
what you been doing? Where you been outside? You been in the streets? What you been doing?
Well, I just did a. Let me put this down because I was about to sip. I just got back from Houston on a girls' trip, so we went to Houston and we had a ball. We had a good time, but it was more so relaxing and relaxation. No kiddos and just the girls, and we had a great time. Massages, pool, just yeah, good food. So therefore, I do need to be with you on that water tip because the water tip I need to be on because yeah, I
But you
know that
always drink water, so
but no, not like I need to. Especially, I need to drink water and get in the gym somewhere because
uh-uh.
I was eating like that. So
Mm.
anyway, what you been up to,
Yeah.
hon?
Whew. Late nights, early mornings. That's what I've been up to for real. I have been hanging out. Um, I've been on a couple of dates. Just gonna put in the atmosphere. I've been on a couple of dates. It's been fun hanging out, getting to know people. Ooh, I'm sorry, y'all. Getting to know people and just having a good time. That's it. So hanging out. Oh my God, friends, bar and grills, just outside. Like for real, just outside.
We outside, y'all.
Yeah, we outside a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little
A
bit.
little bit.
The COVID is
I'm
running
about
rampant
to. You know
again.
what? I'm about to get my second booster though.
You finna get the second booster?
Yeah, because
Oh,
I can
so
get it.
nice.
Well, I don't know that it's. I need to look at my card, but I
Mm.
can get it because I'm immunocompromised. Because I have MS.
Oh,
So, but also it
right.
says as long as it's been 4 months, since my last booster, I can. But I think that's for anybody, honestly. And I've had Pfizer.
Um,
I don't know which one you had, but I know that's for
I
Pfizer.
had Pfizer. I'm finna
Yeah.
get the kids. Jay and the twins, they need their booster now, so I'm finna get them their booster. Um, and they'll be good. So I just got to schedule them, and they'll be good on their booster shot. So,
Mhm.
whew, it's still going on. It's out here. It's out here in the streets.
Yeah.
So Yeah, we're gonna move into our speak on it. So Tiffany, y'all know I don't know the questions. She got a little something for me. I don't know what it is. We've been out, we've been outside, we've been MIA. So what's
Yeah.
what's our
Yeah.
speak on it?
Yeah, when I set the timeline, I had it all out what the question was, and I was like, I got to delete it so she can't see it. So I had sent part of what you think, and she was like, huh?
Yeah, I was like, what is this? I was like, girl, we got a new segment I don't know about.
Mm-mm. So yeah. So the question is, if your phone dies and you ask your significant other to use theirs, but they
Mhm.
refuse, what's your next step?
What? Why are you refusing? My phone died. I can't use your phone.
This is
Let me see. So what's my next step?
what you
To
do.
get the phone.
You just gonna take his phone?
Yes. What we talking about? I need to use the phone. Give me the phone. I'm just gonna get the phone. That's it. That's my next step.
Well,
I will
see,
be retrieving. I'll be retrieving the phone.
see, I, you know
As
what?
simple as that.
I'm just seeing your character because it says significant other, not husband or spouse. So I'm like, shoot, you don't want to get your phone out. I'm looking at you sideways, probably what we got to hide. But I don't know. At least give me a charger at this point, and then I'm looking at you sideways, and I may not be available. And when you calling me on my charge phone.
And but you know what? It ain't gonna always go like that because he would be reluctant. Like you'll feel him being reluctant to give you the phone. I think he'll unlock it and put it on the actual keypad for you to go and dial your number out. I'm
Yeah,
just
you know
saying. I
what? That's
think
I'm
I'm
saying
not a
he.
phone person. Back in the day,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
used
You
to
know what?
be the queen of the passcodes. Right? I'm like this on my phone, but that I is cut. I know your password. I know your little woo woo finger move. I know it all. I used to be a phone person. I did. Ugh, this so oh jeez, thank you for growth. But I did. I used to go through folks' phone like, you talking to this bitch? You talking to her? Who was that? Who was this? Then you connecting dots, making stuff up in your head that ain't even real. See, all that come from going through somebody's phone.
Yeah,
Don't even do
see,
it.
that's
Don't
my
even
thing.
do
Like
it.
I ain't at the place where I'm finna argue with no phone or try to grab no phone. You know, I'm too old at that. Well, if I'm my age now, you know, I ain't got time for games. You know what? You want to give me your phone? Okay, well, I gotta go and buy me a charger and somebody else that can
But
finish.
you can't leave because you ain't got no phone. You can't go no damn work.
You ain't
What
got no
they
car?
gonna get you? Well, I mean, you have a charge in your car.
Lift.
If you already with him, you clearly need the phone to make a call.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no. If you got to do all that, give me that thing. I'm gonna snatch the phone because I need to use it. And when I get back to you, I'm straight on you. I'm straight on you.
Let,
Now I may
let
not
us know.
snatch it. I may not snatch the phone. I ain't gonna lie. I mean,
She
nah, I'm
lied.
gonna.
Yeah, she's lying. You know what? She lying. But
You
you
said
know
I'm a
what?
snitch. I'm a snitch.
It is what it is.
Oh my god, guy, I'm
Cause see,
still
I feel like I'm at the age, so
being
I'm not
developed.
going through phones though at this
Yeah, I'm not
age,
gonna
like you
go through
said.
it. Like I don't
So
want to go through
I don't
it.
understand what's, you know, I I don't, you know, I'm not reading text. I just don't have the energy. Like I truly do believe what's done in the dark will come to the light. You know what I'm
And
saying? Like,
life has proven that to be true.
so you doing this?
I've seen it
Okay, I'm
happen.
gonna eventually catch you. You know what made me say your intuition, your gut. You know what it is. I ain't
Yeah,
got
you gotta do
time.
all that. I'm good on you, bro. Yep. So I'm still gonna get the phone and I'm still gonna make my call and I'm just not gonna deal with you. So matter of fact, you did all that. I might need to go through it.
I,
No, I ain't gonna go through it. Not at this age I am not. I'm gonna make my phone call though. But we're gonna do that. So y'all let us know.
oh,
You getting the
or ask
phone, you ready to
somebody else to
go?
see their phone. Can I borrow
Mm.
your phone? Depending on if you public in public. Can I see your phone? I'm petty. Don't listen to me, y'all. Don't
You always
listen
been
to
petty.
me. It's been in my spirit, and you know,
Oh
I'm
my
working.
God. So let us know what y'all think about the question. You going through the phone, you taking it, you not, you going take your L and move on, or he gonna take his L, because you'd have moved on for him not letting you use the phone. So let us know what y'all think about that. So yeah, we did a little chop and screw. So right now we're gonna move into the plug.
So my plug for this week is still going off parenting. Just some advice. Again, all of my things are disclaimers. I'm by any means, I don't think I'm a pro or anything like that. I don't have no books written, but just things that I feel that I'm still working on as a mom that I think, and maybe y'all can give me some advice too. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about is being intentional about how you show love to your children. I think that for me, being a teacher, and I've said this before, it takes a lot of time and energy sometimes. And sometimes it's just I'm rushing and stuff like that. So I have to remind myself to be intentional, to make sure I take a pause and listen and let them know, hey, I love you, or just giving them a hug, listen to them daily. Because sometimes, like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do this. That's me. But I do try to make a conscious effort on just being intentional to make sure they know I love them and showing my love just different ways to them so that they understand, I'm here. They and make sure that I listen to what they want and what they need. Because I don't want to miss moments that just pass me by. So that's just my plug for this week. Make sure you be intentional about how you show love to your children.
Okay, y'all. My plug for this week from the parenting sector is, so if y'all been rocking with us, you already know I have teenagers, a house full of teenagers. Everybody is a teenager. So my plug is, parents, make sure you have the sex conversation with your kids. Once they hit a certain age, we want to make sure that they have an understanding of what sex is, how to protect themselves, not the pros of it, but the the realistic side of sex, what that entails, diseases, um, how to be selective, boys and girls, being selective of who they lay down with. So just having that talk sooner rather than later. Also, in having that conversation, not, this is just from my perspective, is not to make the conversation be taboo, not make the conversation be too, this is bad, this is not for you, you're never supposed to do this until you get to this age, making them feel bad about being in that space as they get older, because as we all know, we're here because somebody had sex and had a baby and had us. So that is just a part of life, in the life cycle and the reproduction of life. So I encourage you to have the conversation with your kids sooner rather than later, and give them the knowledge on how to protect themselves, what it entails, and the importance of being selective of who they allow in their space in that intimate moment. So that's my plug for this week. All right, y'all, we are back from the plug, and we're going to move on into our topic of discussion for today. So, in our topic, we wanted to talk about the things that we wish we would have known before we got married. So, you all know that well, I'm sorry, we were. Tiffany is currently married. I am currently divorced. However, of course, am divorced. I've been married before. So we can definitely get some insight on what it is that we wish we would have known, especially on my end, you know what I'm saying? uh, just saying, before we got married. So, Tiffany, I'm going to start with you. What's the thing that you wish you would have known before you got married?
The first thing that I put was, where my significant other was, but my spouse now, but where are you mentally? Because a lot of times I think they get swept under the rug. We don't talk about mental health, especially in men. So, and then what are your thoughts on, counseling? Yes, they tell you, encourage you to do couple counseling before marriage, but then consistently, I think it's important possibly throughout your marriage to make sure y'all are still always on the same page. I mean, because at the time that I say I do feel like it's forever. It's no divorce, but stuff happens. But I think that is important to know where are you, mentally, how do you feel about going to therapy, things like that, because sometimes people, and specifically men, are like, yeah, we don't need all that, we don't need people in our business and all of that. I'm here to tell you, being married, things aren't necessarily rosy, definitely every day.
No,
You may
it's
go
not.
through spouts and spurts and things like that. And so you just need to make sure that you get through those things healthy, not being toxic. How do we do this thing called life together healthy? Because you can still be existing, but it's not healthy because y'all arguing, all of these different things. And I think that
And you don't know
therapy,
the mental side of that person, like you
yeah,
said, the mental stability, where they were. And then,
what
like
they've
you were
been
saying,
through, like,
right? It coming into the marriage, you're such in a blissful moment. Yeah, you've been in that relationship, but some people don't really deep dive into the mental capacity, what they went through and what they didn't tell. So I agree, their mental side is definitely one to tackle. Yeah, it could bring in a lot of baggage. Um, what I thought about on my end was the person you marry is the person that he or she is. It's just you, they just who they are. Meaning some more than likely they're set in their ways, more than likely they have ideas and thoughts that they have said, this is how I'm gonna do things, this is what it is. And I feel like we come in trying to change that person. For an example, um, if that person didn't cook or clean when you met her, and you said she gonna be a wife now, and wives cook and
your
clean,
expectations don't
she
change.
is not cooking and cleaning. I don't know what you thought was about to happen. She wasn't cooking and cleaning when you met her. She's not gonna be cooking and cleaning when you get married. And just because you're now calling her a wife, if your now husband couldn't keep a job and wasn't providing when y'all was dating, and because you said now he a husband and this is what husband's supposed to do, provide, girl, he wasn't keeping a job and providing when you were dating, so he's not gonna provide when you get married. The person you marry is the same person. The only thing I think that happens through our marriage is that you evolve as an individual based on, I would say, maybe your surrounding of maybe other married couples, maybe just age, life has caused you to develop, have a different mindset, and things may change and then they may not. Because I know for sure, I know a 40-year-old, almost 40-year-old, I know him, I know his name, that has not changed. Still ain't really got no job, still out here doing what he doing. He who he is. Not saying that he can't change, but we're expecting people to do something
But
and
they
be
never done
somebody
before.
else when we get that title, whether it be when we become a wife or they become a husband. Because even think about it, when you became a wife, you was like, oh, I'm a wife now. So what do I have to do different? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a wife now. Do I have to change this, or what can I do? What can I not do? How does my husband feel? You start to, whereas you dating, you don't really take that into consideration. You're like, oh, I'm dating. So you're not really trying to be a girlfriend. You just are. But when you become a wife, you're trying to be, or somebody wants you to be what a wife is. But as a girlfriend, you're just like, "Hmm, this is kind of how this goes. I am who I am. Like me or not, I'm just a girlfriend. But as a wife, we tend to want to switch and take on a whole persona, for us sometimes as a person, and we want them to take on this whole new identity because they have a new title. And that's just not the case. It's not gonna be like that.
Yeah, I agree. Take people for face value. What they show you is what they are. I mean, you can't expect more. Now, I do think when you do get married, I'm not saying that you should expect anything different, but I do think that you do grow individually,
Hmm.
but the goal is to hopefully evolve as a human being or a person.
Right,
That's just,
right.
you know what I mean? So no, the person that I met originally, I'm not expecting you to still be that same person, 5, 10 years from now, or
Right.
because I'm gonna outgrown you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I kept
Mm-hmm.
evolving, and
You
you know,
stayed.
but that's just where I'm
And
at.
some people do that. They grow out of you never moved. You stayed this one way. There was never any growth, never any movement. Yeah, no, it's not gonna
Yeah,
work for me.
yeah. So,
The way I'm
I,
set up.
another thing that I said that I, think everyone should know before they get married, what are your significant other goals? And when I say that, professionally and personally. Professionally,
Mm-hmm.
what was that? Think like a man, something like that. Think like a man, that movie. Like,
Uh-huh.
that is true. Like, if you ain't had that conversation about, because they may have a job and they, working hard and things like that. But if they're content with just being that, and not saying this is my goal, like I'm trying to grow to this level. And I'm not saying that
They
you
still gotta grow.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Grow in
You
some place.
have
Or
to.
what are your ambitions, or your drive? And I'm not saying everybody got to figure it out, but at least have an idea on what you would like to do. And
Mm-hmm.
I just
Yeah.
think professionally, and I say personally too, because I think if somebody is,
Mm.
their goal is to just go to work, come home, save, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I personally, I know I want somebody that's gonna travel. I love to travel. I know making money for travel and things like that. Personally, what are you trying to do? Because I want to save as well. I have a certain amount saved.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to travel. I want to
Mm-hmm.
see new things, all of that. So that's important for me. So and that's just me. Everyone's different, but I do think it's important.
I love a growth mindset. I think when we talked about certain things, I think that we look for in a relationship or something. I can't remember the topic that we talked about it on. I mean, what show? But one was ambition. I love if a guy's ambitious, a goal oriented, go getter. Sign me up. I love that. I love that because I feel like you're gonna be. And when I say goal oriented and ambitious, you really are in executing these things. You're a doer also, you're not just a thinker. You're also a doer of these things. That is so much motivation. They make me want to do more, make me want to be better, or like, oh,
Motivate
what
each
are we
other.
doing? Yeah, we just doing this thing off of each other. So I love that goal oriented do like because I love growth, and that is I love it. I love it. And I also said so piggybacking off of what you said, wanted to know what their goals are. I feel like the conversation you need to have is about you need to know what your credit score and your financial goals. Because don't be getting married and then you like, well, now let's pull up your credit. And well, we want to buy a house now that we got married. Now, what's your score? 200. We can't be doing that. You have to, and then they may be like, I don't know. I don't care about this. I don't care about money. Like
Yeah.
finances is one of the top reasons people get divorced. So I think that's definitely a conversation that you want to have before you get married is finances. Because one thing I know for sure and two things for certain, you will be divorced if you don't get your finances in order. Because that financially, as a single person, can be stressful. Imagine being in a household where you have two people who have a financial strain and y'all trying to keep the household afloat with both of y'all, and the finances are struggling and y'all ain't talk about it, y'all can't get nothing. Like that is a lot of pressure. And then you mad at him because he ain't providing. Well, should have known that and talked about it. Like I said at first, how you feel about your coins? What you feel about this? Like you know he ain't about that, and you ain't talk about it. Now you married, want to buy a house. Girl, that man ain't had a job for no more than 3 months. You talking about you want a house? You
Yeah,
see,
I
like
definitely
it's
think that
important.
you should definitely lay it out all out on the table. You know what I'm saying? I honestly think before depending on if you want to go to the courthouse, that's fine. But even before you go to the courthouse, I do think it's important to know both of y'all's financial status. Both,
Yeah.
and it can be even if it's not as high or whatever, but you got that ambition or those personal goals or professional goals. This is my plan. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Mhm.
going to raise it to
Mhm.
this, and this is what I'm doing
Mhm.
to get to that. You know what I'm saying?
And make sure
Um,
you see
and ask the
these things are
questions.
happening before you get married because You talking about, oh, your score is this, and your goal is this, and your goal is that, but you playing a video game every day, and you're not doing nothing towards these goals that we talked about, and we get caught up in liking a person, loving a person, being around them, the company, the presence. So when they're telling us what their goals are, we're like, oh, he got goals. Oh, he got ambition. But he ain't did nothing to pursue not one goal. That's what you call potential, sweeties. Dating potential that
The
never
dreamer.
evolved.
The
The
dreamer.
dreamer. That's the dreamer. The dreamer. You've dated the dreamer, and he ain't done nothing. I'm
I'm
finna.
a.
And ain't done nothing. So actions, I think, in what you're saying, like, look at those actions. Like, we gotta be intentional about what we want. Intentionality is very, very key in the spouse that you choose before you get married.
Yeah.
Um,
But well, definitely. I know that the next thing, the last thing actually that I said was to discuss family. So when I say family, I mean,
I put
of course,
family.
the amount of kids, and also with and I'm just speaking on situations that I know personally. I mean, I happen to be very fertile, so it was not a problem for me to get pregnant. But you also want to know how, when we say family, what if I can't? And so, if we get married, I can't have kids. Are you gonna run because kids that
Mm,
important to you? Are you open to just having a family, even if it's not from
mm,
my body? Because I've seen that a couple of times, close friends and things that have
mm,
had fertility issues, and it happens, and y'all can be in love and all of that. But if y'all are not on the same page with it, you know, you need to love me for me and know that, yeah, we may both want kids, but if I can't, you still, like, you ain't gonna run. You know what I'm saying? How we gonna get
mm.
through this? Are
Yeah.
we gonna adopt? Are we, maybe, I don't know, surrogacy or whatever the case may be?
Hmm.
But I think that I've seen that a couple of times. Like, women just may can't carry a child. And so we
Yeah.
don't think about that. Yeah, we just assume or take for granted, yeah, every woman can have a baby because that's what everybody assumes. Like, a woman is pregnant.
Hmm.
I mean, a woman is supposed to have kids, and that's just what it is. And
Yep.
if she can't, then she broke. Some people look at it like
Yeah.
that.
They
And
do be like,
so,
what's wrong with you?
yeah, oh, it's something wrong with her because she don't have kids.
Yeah.
And it's just, I definitely think that. And then, how you treat your family or your parents and stuff is important too. But I definitely think family.
I had family, so I'm gonna blend mine too. 'Cause I had two more. So for me, family was one, and I did family from a different side because I was married where we were a blended family, right? So I already had my kids, he had his kids, and when you're dealing with a blended family, that's a totally different ball game because you have to deal with the spouse of of the children's of the other person's kids, right? So I think having some form of relationship with the other person is good to have. Now, y'all don't have to be kumbaya. You don't got to be best friends. Y'all don't have to come to each other's gatherings and things like that. I think my family just special like that because it's just how we operate. It's how I grew up. So I think we just a lucky bunch of people. But I think definitely having that dialogue with the like my ex his kid's mom. I think having a relationship, whether they be a phone call, whether they be I can call you and say, hey, this is going on with the kids, or hey, what do you think? Can I get him this medicine? If he's not around, I think you should be able to be in a position to contact that other parent and there be cordial dialogue and you all can
Definitely.
get along, show up at birthday parties with no drama. Like I think that is so important and so needed for the kids because I think that also sets them up as when they grow up and they meet somebody who they may not have kids with and that person has a child, they've seen a positive influence on them to know how to navigate that space. If that space has always been navigated in a negative light, they may not know any other way than to be like, well, I don't post to fool with you. Or I don't post to talk to that other person. It just may not come off the right way. So I think having that from a family side, if you are marrying into a blended family, being able for the woman to talk to, your finna be husband's kid's mom, and for him to have dialogue with your kid's dad is, when I say, creates a level of peace that is so good, and just an environment for the kids to see their love is exists in all ways, not
Yeah.
just who they have kids with, but it can be outside of that as well.
Yeah, because I think that when you get involved with somebody else, the kids are you. You hopefully you're not dealing with somebody that you think are going to treat your kids any kind of way. And
Mhm.
so, as
Mhm.
a woman, if we didn't work out and my ex got remarried or whatever the case may be, I need to have that relationship. I need to know who's going to be around my kids first because
Right.
I'm not set up right. So, I think that's about respect. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So if I felt like it wasn't going to work with us, then I need to be mature enough. If he's moved on to someone else and he says
Yep.
he's willing enough to marry or put another ring on somebody's finger, that
Mhm.
hey, I mean, we
We
can
need to
sit
at
down
least
as
have,
grown men and have a
yeah.
conversation on how we gonna raise these kids together. Because now we're a blended family, so that's
Yeah.
just
And then
yeah,
we are examples. We're the adults showing, giving the example. I think we often miss that we tell kids do what we say and not as we do. And we
yeah,
all grow up to do as we saw, not what people said.
yeah,
So we show them that and not just tell them, then it's a world of difference that can happen. And and for me, that also goes to my next thing, which is communication. I think having communication with your spouse before you get married is very, very, very key. And when I say communication, I'm not talking about I like this my favorite food, this my favorite thing, this my restaurant I love, and no, I'm talking about real deep dialogue, to the point where, and deep is subjective to for whomever and however you all communicate, but also when you all are in a disagreement, because we know in relationships everything is not on the up and up all the time. So when there is a level of disagreement, I think the way y'all communicate when it is a level of disagreement is going to be key to the marriage. It's going to be
yeah,
very, very instrumental, because if someone is always walking away, somebody always giving in to your side every time, they're not feeling like they can really express themselves in the discussion where there is a disagreement, then you all will never resolve the issue, and the issues that came up that were never resolved will build, 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 and build. That carpet, that rug that y'all kept sweeping it under, is gonna start showing. It's gonna start bending. That dirt gonna start seeping out some type of way. So I think having that communication in the beginning when there are disagreements, because then you get to navigate, well, I didn't like that you said this, or when we
absolutely.
argue, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I feel like I've had to grow in that. When I say
Mm-hmm.
arguing, fighting fair, you have to learn because with me,
Oh.
I am quick to just. I used to be quick to my temper just gets the best of me. I don't necessarily you say stuff you don't mean, and so
Mm-hmm.
thinking before you speak, and of course you shouldn't walk away from arguments. But I think the main reason people walk away from arguments is because you may start hitting below the belt and things like that, and it gets
Mm-hmm.
to you don't want to regret something the next day. But that's I
Mm-hmm.
think you should learn how to, like you said, communicate and fight fair.
Yeah,
Because
because I
everybody
be
needs to
very
do
much,
it.
I'm a cutter off. Like, I used to cut you off in mid thought, in mid conversation, because I got to get my point out. Like me, that was me. I got to get my point. I know what I'm finna say. You said that. No, 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 no. Let me tell you what you did. I used to be very quick in that space, but I've learned to just listen and then respond, and not be so ready to respond that I never listen. And I know that was a
Yeah,
problem for me. I used to be very quick to respond, and I'm like, yeah, yeah, all right, but I'm listening. I hear what you're saying because I'm ready. I got in my head. I'm in battle mode, right? So I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for this. I know what I'm about to say next. Yeah, yeah. Instead of truly stepping out of my space of combativeness and listening to what that person says, understanding why they could have come from that angle, and then giving my side, and where we can truly have a level of communication. So I think y'all have to learn, even in the dating phase, when you in an argument, how y'all communicate, because Sometimes communication, which is definitely not healthy, can become physical. You don't want to marry nobody you physically fighting every day. I'm telling you right now, this gonna get old, it's gonna get tired. That's not the move. I was in a relationship before where it was physical. It was not the move in any capacity. But not a marriage relationship. So different things. Um, but in those disagreement moments, how you communicate and how it flows over into your marriage will definitely be a game changer. Learning to get an understanding of each other now before you cross over into the marriage phase. When I say I feel like it ain't gonna be perfect, but it's definitely gonna be well worth the communication. It's gonna work out. I like that. So that's what I had. That's just kind of how I feel.
Yeah.
So if y'all got some other stuff y'all wish y'all would have known
Hey,
before you got married,
hashtag things I wish I know before I got married or known before I got
hmm
married. So
yeah, because
let us know.
it's definitely some stuff that I know moving into a next relationship or whatever marriage, whatever may is the future for me. I'm definitely going into it with different lenses and of course life experience, right? It's just an experience.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But it will definitely help navigate in certain areas that I failed in and that I allow things to happen in that I know that I don't want to be a part of pretty much the future. So let us know how y'all feel. And that y'all already know before we get out of here, Tiffany has to give y'all something to feed y'all soul. So Tiffany, what's the soul food you got for the week?
So my soul food or the soul food that I saw this week is everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. So
Oh, I like that. And you know what? That quote came right on time from the word today. Because Sarah Jakes, she preached and she was saying we need to change our system. So we always focus on the outcome, but in the goal we're trying to reach, but we don't look at the system. And the system may be something that we've set in place that needs to be broken in order for us to get that change that we want.
yeah.
So
You know she's about to be in Nashville, girl.
she come to the field for what?
She's just coming to speak. She's gonna be a Bristol.
Oh, when she coming, girl? I need to probably come to Nashville. Yeah, I probably need to come. Yeah, send me some information because I want to go to the Women That Are Loose that's coming up. So they doing the last one this year, and I want to go to that. But that word today really wrapped up what you had said for our soul food for the week. So y'all, before we get to going into another tangent, we're gonna wrap this show up. And there's two things that we want you to do when you're listening to Not Just Girl Talk. Number one is to refill your cup.
And vibe with Tiffany and Ashanti.